Good afternoon, everyone. Before we start the pre-bid conference, first and foremost, the opening prayer to be led by our Chief of Quality and Assurance Section, Engineer Manuel Tabinga.
Tayo po'y manalangin. Panginoon, pinupuri ka natin sa salamatan sa hapon ito sa pagkakalob mo ng magandang pangataon, kalusugan sa bawat isang narito. Pinasasalamatan din po namin lahat po ng mga biyaya, pagpapala na pinagkakalob niyo sa amin sa pang-araw-araw naming pamumuhay. Sa mga oras ko, Panginoon, tinataas po namin aming gawain, kaya po ang manguna, Panginoon, namin may isagawa po namin ito nang nayon po sa inyong kalooban. Piniling din po namin ang pagpapatawad sa lahat po ng mga pagkukulang, pagkakasala ng gagawa namin. Uli, pinabalik namin ang kapurihan sa ngalan ni Jesus natin, tagapagligtas. Amen.
Good afternoon to all the viewers watching the pre-bid conference live streaming at YouTube video and social media platform. The bids and awards committee back meeting for today, July 31, 2026. No call to order. May we request our back secretariat member, Madam Chair Larawan, to please read the rules of attendance and the agenda of pre-bid conference.
Thank you po, Mr. Vice Chairperson. Here the present for this conference pre-bid for 26 EF 0099 and 26 CEF 001. Sir Eugenio Arcaton, Vice Chairperson.
Present.
Sir Manuel A. Tabinga, back member.
Present.
Sir Romel V. Cabanillas, back member.
Present.
And Sir Sosimo Villarosa for consultancy. For back secretariat, yours truly, and Sir Earl Asi M. Martinez. Here is the agenda of pre-bid conference for consultancy, contract ID 26CF001. Babasahin ko pa, sir, contract name. Geotechnical investigation for widening of permanent bridge, Apo-Aporawan Bridge, B00355 PW, Burirao Bridge, B00359 PW, Cabulu-an Bridge, B0044 PW, Aplian Bridge, B00369 PW, Barong-Barong Bridge, B00375 PW, Lanadio Bridge, B00374 PW, Tigaplan Bridge, B00114 PW, Abo-Abo Bridge, B00360 PW, Calatubog Bridge, B0053 PW, Ipaputo Bridge, B00364 PW, Karasanan Bridge, B00367 PW, Labog Bridge, B00365 PW, Malalong Bridge, B0065 PW, Panitian Bridge, B00363 PW, Pulot Bridge, B0064 PW, along Puerto, Princesa South Road, Palawan. Contract location, Palawan. For agenda of pre-bids, dated July 31. Number 1 is brief presentation, explanation by back of the following basic contract data, including contract description, refers to REOI. B, requirements of bidding documents, including notice of eligibility and shortlisting, instruction to bidders, bid data sheet, general conditions of contract, special condition of contract, terms of reference, bidding forms in appendices. C, documents to be submitted by the bidders. For 26 EF 99, civil works, Rehabilitation, reconstruction of roads, bridge slips, slope collapse, and landslide, secondary roads, Puerto, Princesa South Road, kilometer 140 plus 735 to kilometer 140 plus 835, kilometer 142 plus 980 to kilometer 143 plus 70, Sofronio, Española. Agenda of pre-bid conference for civil work is 1. Brief presentation explanation by back of the following. A. Basic contract data, including contract description, EBC, and duration. Requirements of bidding documents, including instructions to bidders, general conditions of contract, special conditions of contract, specification, drawings, bill of quantities, and forms. C. Documents to be submitted by the bidders. For technical component envelope, Class A documents, A. Legal documents, B. Technical documents, C. Financial documents, D. Class B documents. For financial component envelope, A. Financial bid form, B. Bid price in the BOQ, C. Detailed estimate, D. Cash flow by quarter. D. Criteria and procedures for eligibility check, preliminary examination of bids, detailed evaluations of bids, post-qualification, and award. 2. Questions, comments from bidders, and replies of BAC and other representative of procuring entity. 3. Summary of proceedings, including supplemental bid bulletin to be issued. And 4 other matters. That's all for this.
Thank you, Madam Perry.
Vice Chair.
Thank you, Madam Perry Larawan. May we request Engineer Sosimo Villarosa to please discuss the technical documents, the financial document, financial proposal, and the request for expression of interest. And also the checklist of technical requirements and financial requirements. Let me take this.
Thank you, sir. For the conduct ID 2060 SEF01, this is the technical documents. Letter A, bid security as prescribed in ITV clause 15. If the bidder ought to submit the bid security in a form of 1. Bank draft guarantees or an irrevocable letter of credit issued by the foreign bank, it should be accompanied by a confirmation from a universal or commercial bank. Or number 2, a surety bond accompanied by a certification coming from the authorized insurance commission that a surety or an insurance company is authorized to issue such instrument. Letter B, information indicated that the paragraphs below must be provided by the consultant in each partner and its subcontractor. If any, following the formats prescribed in section 6, terms of reference, a brief description of the organization and outline of recent experience of the consultant in each partner and or subcontractor on projects of a similar and related nature as required in Form CPF2. Consultant's reference for each project, the outline should indicate inter alia, the project contract amount and the consultant's involvement. Information should be provided only for the projects of which the consultant was legally contracted by itself or as one of the major participating consultants within the association. Whenever applicable, the experience of individual experts from projects completed independently or when associated with consultants other than one with whom the individual is currently associated with cannot be claimed as the experience of current consultant or any one of the partners and or subcontractors, but can be claimed by the individuals themselves in their CVs. Consultants should be prepared to substantiate the claim experience if so requested by the procuring entity. 2. A concise, complete, and logical description of how the consultant's team shall carry out the services to meet all requirements of the TOR, 3. A work plan showing a graphical format or bar chart, the timing of major activities, anticipated coordination meetings, and deliverables such as reports required under the TOR. 4. A time schedule. PPF 7. Time schedule with professional personnel indicating clearly the estimated duration in terms of person months shown separately for work in the field, in the home office, and the proposed timing of each input for each nominated expert, including the domestic experts. If required, using the format shown, the schedule shall also indicate when experts are working in the project office and when they are working a location away from the project office. An organization chart indicating the relationship amongst the consultant and other partner and or subcontractor, the procuring entity, the funding source, and the GOP, an organization chart indicating entity, the funding source in the GOP, and the parties or stakeholders, if any, involved in the project. 6. Comments. If any on the TOR procuring entity to improve performance in carrying out the project, innovativeness shall be appreciated, including workable suggestions that could improve the quality and effectiveness of the project. In this regard, unless the consultant clearly states otherwise, it shall be assumed by the procuring entity that the work required to implement and any such improvements are included in the input shown in the consultant's staffing schedule. 7. A list of facilities requested by the consultant to be provided by the procuring entity, in addition to those shown in the data sheets, that may include support facilities such as counterpart staff, office space, local transportation, equipment, domestic administrative support, etc. That would be needed to carry out the equipment, domestic administrative support. 8. The name, age, nationality, background, employment record, and professional experience of its nominated experts, including ongoing projects, with particular reference to the type of experience required for the task assigned, should be presented in CV format shown in DPF 6. 9. Only one CV for each consultant involved in the project may be submitted for each position. The procuring entity requires that each expert confirm that the content of his or CV is correct, and the expert themselves should sign the certification of the CV. In addition, the expert should submit a signed written commitment stating that the expert shall work for the project once awarded the contract. A 0 rating should be given to the nominated expert if the expert is 1. Is proposed for a domestic position but not a Filipino citizen. 2. Failed to state nationality in the CV. Or 3. The CV is not signed in accordance with the paragraph above. B. Sworn statement in accordance with the section 25.2b 4 of the IRR of RA 9184 in using the form prescribed in the section 7 bidding forms. For the financial proposal, all information provided in the consultant financial proposal should be treated as confidential. This financial proposal must be submitted in hard copy using the format shown in financial proposal form. 2. The financial proposal requires completion of 6 forms, particularly PFP1 to PFP6. PFP1 financial proposal submission form should be from the covering letter of the financial proposal from PFP2. Summary of the cost of FPF. 3. Breakdown of price per activity. FPF4 breakdown of remuneration per activity. FPF5 reimbursable per activity, and FPF6 miscellaneous expenses. Relate to the cost of the consulting service under 2 distinct categories, namely remuneration. B. Reimbursable expenditures. 3. Remuneration is divided into the billing rate estimates for international and domestic consultants. Reimbursable expenditures are divided into paradigms rates for the international and domestic consultants and costs for the reimbursable expenditure items required to perform the consulting services. 4. The list of experts and their respective inputs identified in financial proposal forms must match the list of experts and their respective inputs shown in the technical proposal forms. 5. The consultants should be subject to Philippine taxes on amounts payable by the procuring entity under the contract through mandated withholding by the local tax authorities of a specific percentage of such amounts or otherwise. The BDS details the tax payable. The financial proposal should clearly estimate as a separate amount that the local taxes, including social security, duties, fees, levies, and other charges imposed under the applicable law on the consultants, the subcontractors, and its personnel other than the Philippine nationals or permanent residents of the Philippines. 7. Unless otherwise provided in the BDS, total calculated bid prices as evaluated and corrected for minor arithmetical corrections such as computational errors which exceed the approved budget for the contract agency shall not be considered. Number 2. Question comments for the bidders and replies of BAC and other representative of procuring entity. And number 3. Other matters. Request for the expression of interest. Number 1. The Department of Public Works and Highways Palawan 2nd District Engineering Office, through the General Appropriation Act GAA 2026, intends to apply the sum shown below, being the approved budget of the contracts, to payments under the contract of 4 shown below. Bids received in excess of the ABC shall be automatically rejected at the opening of the financial proposals. For the contract ID 26C SEF01, the name of project and location is Geotechnical Investigation, Widening Permanent Bridge of Apo-Aporawan Bridge B00355PW, Burirao Bridge B00359PW, Cabulu-an Bridge B00444PW, Aplian Bridge B00369PW, Barong-Barong Bridge B00375PW, Lanadio B00374PW, Tigaplan Bridge B00144PW, Abo-Abo B00360PW, Calatubog Bridge B00053PW, Ipaputo B00364PW, Karasanan B00336PW, Labog Bridge B00365PW, Malalong Bridge B0065PW, Panitian Bridge B00363PW, Pulot Bridge B0064PW, along Puerto, Princesa, South Road, Palawan. Number 2. The Department of Public Works and Highways, Palawan 2nd District Engineering Office, now calls for the submission of shortlisting documents of geotechnical investigation. Shortlisting documents of interested consultant must be duly received by the BAC Secretariat on or before July 23, 2026 at 10 a.m. at DPWH Building, 2nd floor, bathroom, Nara, Palawan. Application for eligibility will be evaluated based on the non-secretionary pass-fail criterion. Interest bidders may obtain further information from Department of Public Works and Highways, Palawan 2nd District Engineering Office, and inspect the bidding documents at the address given below from 8 a.m. to 5 a.m. A complete set of bidding documents may be acquired by interested bidders on July 16, 2026, August 11, 2026, from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., August 12, 2026, until 10 a.m. from the given address below, and upon payment of the applicable fee for the bidding documents, pursuant to the latest guidelines issued by the GPPB in the amount of 5,000 pesos. It may also be downloaded free of charges from the website of the Philippine Government Electronic Procurement System, or the PhilJEPS, and the website of the procuring entity, provided that the bidders shall pay the applicable fees for the bidding documents not later than the submission of their bids. 5. The BAC shall draw up the shortlist of the consultant from those who have submitted the expression of interest, including the shortlisting documents, and have been determined as eligible in accordance with the provision of Republic Act or RA 912-009, otherwise known as the New Government Procurement Act. And this implementing rules and regulation IRR, the short list shall consist of 3 or will be entitled to submit bids manually. The criteria and rating system for the shortlisting are quality cost-based evaluation or QCDE, Bidding will be conducted through the competitive election using the non-discretionary pass-fails criterion, as specified in implementing rules and regulation IRR of RA 12009. Bidding is restricted to Filipino citizens, sole proprietorship, cooperatives, and partnership organization with latest 60% interest or outstanding capital stock belonging to the citizen of the Philippines. The procuring entity shall evaluate bids to determine the highest rated bid using the quality cost-based evaluation selection QCBA QCBS procedure. The procuring entity shall indicate the weights to be allocated for the technical and financial proposals. The criteria and rating system for the evaluation of bids shall be provided in the instructions to bidders. Shortlisting documents must be received by the procuring entities or banks at the address indicated in the request for expression of interest on or before the day of time indicated in the SDS. The contract should be complete within 200 calendar days. All bids must be accompanied by bid security and acceptable forms in the amount stated in ITV Clause 16. The certification as to the current workload relative to capacity shall be made in accordance with the instructions to bidders in relation to TPF 5 therein. As part of eligibility and technical documentation, bidders are required to submit the following: A. Duly signed Omnibus 1 Statement or OSS in accordance with the prescribed in the bidding documents. Latest General Information Sheet GIS reflecting the benefits of ownership information BOI, duly received by the Securities and Exchange Commission or SEC for corporations. All originally notarized special power of attorneys PA, original notarized secretary certificate documents must be specified to the project being bid. The SPA must be submitted by the authorized representative, accompanied by any two valid government ID of the representative's submissions without the original notarized special power of attorney. Original notarized secretary certificate and proper identification will not be accepted. In adherence to department policies, please be reminded that the strict implementation of Department Order 28 Series of 2024 three-strike policy in the procurement of infrastructure goods and consulting services contracts. In the event of any discrepancy between the original bid proposal, copy 1 and copy 2 of the original bid proposal shall prevail. Interested bidders are required to provide an official email address for all bid-related notices. In any message sent to the address will be deemed duly acknowledged upon transmission. Be advised that we are currently in the transition period. Accordingly, if any provision of RA 12009 is clear, the provision of RA 9184 shall prevail. The Department of Public Works and Highways Palawan 2nd District Engineering Office reserves the right to reject any and all bids, declare failure of bidding, or not award the contract at any time prior to the contract awards in accordance with Section 70 of RA 12009, without thereby incurring any liability to the affected bidders or bidders. For further information, please refer to Engineer Julius Cacacia, OIC Head, Common Staff, DPWH Palawan 2nd District Engineering Office, Palawan. Or you may visit the following website for downloading bidding documents: www.philjeffs.gov.ph or www.dpwh.gov.ph. Signed, Edwin and Gapa, Chief Administrative Section, Chairperson Bids and Awards Committee. Date of publication, July 16, 2026. DPWH website, Philjeffs and conspicuous place. Now, these are the checklist of technical requirements. Technical envelope. Under the technical envelope is number 1, technical proposal submission from TF1. Philjeffs certification of registration, platinum membership, in accordance with Section 20 of the IRR. Bid security and prescribed ITB Clause 16 and validity period under ITB Clause 15. Information indicated in the paragraph below must be provided by the bidder in each partner if any following the form as prescribed in the technical proposal forms. A brief description of the organizational and outline recent experience of the bidder and his partner, if any, on project of similar and related nature is required from TF2. Consultants reference. Comments, if any, on the TOR TF3. Comments and suggestion consultants on the terms of reference on data, services, and facilities to improve performance in carrying out the project. Foresee a concise, complete, and logical description how the bidder's team shall carry out the service to meet all requirements of the TOR using DPF4. Description of the methodology and work plan for performing the project. 4.D, an organization chart of key and support staff indicating the tasks and project using TPF5, team composition and tasks, the same age, nationality, background, employment records, and professional experience of each nominated expert, including ongoing projects with particular reference to type of experience required for the task and assigned should be presented in the CV format shown. 4.E, DPF6, format of curriculum vitae. The proposed professional staff only one duly authorized CV for each consultant involved in the project may be submitted for each position. 4.F, the procuring entity requires that each expert confirm that the content of the CV is correct and the expert himself shown in the certification of the CV. In addition, the expert should submit a signed written commitment stating that the expert shall work for the project once awarded the contract. 4.G, a time schedule, TPF7, time schedule for professional personnel, indicating clearly that the estimated duration in terms of person months shown separately for works in the field and in the home or office, and in the proposed timing of each input for each nominated expert, including the messaging expert, if required using the format shown. 4.H, a work plan showing graphical format, bar chart, or the bar charts, the timing of major activities, anticipated coordination meeting, and deliverables such as reports required under the TOR of using TPF8 activity work schedule. And the number 5, omnibus form statement. Take note, any missing document in the above mentioned checklist is a ground for ineligibility. Our back chairperson, Edwin Gapat, back vice chairperson, Eugene Arcaton, and back member Romel Cabanillas, Manuel Tabinga, Julius, Jose Modi, Villarosa, and users representative. And here are the checklists of financial requirements for financial envelope, PF1, financial proposal submission form, PF2, FPF2, summary of cost, FPF3, breakdown of price per activity, FPF4, breakdown of remuneration per activity, reimbursement, FPF5, reimbursable per activity, FPF6, miscellaneous expenses. Ignore any missing documents in the above mentioned checklist is ground for ineligibility, signed by the same. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Sosimo Villarosa. May we request the Chief of Construction Section, Engineer Romel Cabanillas, to please discuss the basic contract data and the details of invitation to bid.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Invitation to bid, the Department of Public Works and Highways, Palawan, Second District Engineering Office, wrote the General Appropriation Act, CAA 2026, intends to apply the sum option being approved budget of the contract or ABC to payments under the contract shown below. Bids received in excess of the ABC shall be automatically rejected at bid opening. Contract ID is 26AF0099, Rehabilitation, Reconstruction of Roads with slips, slope, collapse, and landslide secondary roads, Puerto, Princesa, South Road, Key 140 plus 735. So Key 140 plus 835. To Key 142 plus 980. To Key 143 plus 070. Contract location is Sofronio, Española, Palawan. Brief description is construction of reinforced concrete retaining wall with sheet pile including drainage structure reblocking of shattered PCCP and other miscellaneous structure. Approved budget for the contract or EPC is 48,543,360,000 centavos. Source of fund, FY 2026 ka. Contract duration is 251 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents, 25,000. Pickup license for size range medium A. The Department of Public Works and Highway, Palawan and Second Engineering Office, no invites bids for the above procurement projects. Completion of the works is required in the corresponding contract. Duration is stated above. Bidders shall have a completed contract similar to the project. The description of uneligible bidders is contained in the bidding documents, particularly in Section 2, Instruction to Bidder or ITB. Bidding will be conducted through open competitive bidding procedure using a non-discretionary pass of fee criterion as specified in the implementing rules and regulation of Republic Act number 12009. Bidding is restricted to Filipino citizens, sole proprietorship, cooperatives and partnerships, or organization with at least 60% interest or outstanding capital stock belonging to the citizens of the Philippines. The manner of bid evaluation shall be through the determination of the lowest calculated bid or LCB. The bidder determined to have submitted the lowest calculated and responsive bid LCRB shall be recommended for award of contract in accordance with the procedures prescribed under the SEED Act and its IRR. Interested bidders may obtain further information from Department of Public Works and Highways, Palawan Second District Engineering Office, and inspect the bidding documents at the address given below from 8 a.m. to 5 a.m. A complete set of bidding documents may be acquired by the interested bidders from the given address below. It can also be downloaded either from the website of Philippine Government Electronic Procurement System or PhilGIPS or the procuring entity upon a payment of applicable fee per project as started above the bidding documents and portion to the latest guidelines. Issued by the GPBB, the procuring entity shall allow the bidder to present a proof of payment in person through the mail or any electronic means. Activity issue and downloading of bidding documents. Time and date, July 23, 2026, August 11, 2026, from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. August 12, 2026 until 10 a.m. Please, hard copies at Procurement Unit Office, Back Building, DPWH Palawan, DEO Nara Palawan. Downloadable from eDPWH website, www.dpwh.com at PH. B. PhilGIPS website, www.philgips.gov at PH. Pre-bid conference, July 30, 2026 at 10 a.m. Issued by the back of the bids, deadline until 10 a.m., August 12, 2026. Opening of bids is August 12, 2026 at 10 a.m. DPWH Building, second floor, back room, Nara, Palawan. The Department of Public Works and Highways, Palawan Second District Engineering Office will hold pre-bid conference at DPWH Building, second floor, back room, Nara, Palawan, and simultaneously live streaming on www.youtube.com at DPWH Palawan's second DEO, which shall be open to the prospective bidders. Bids must be duly received by the back secretariat through manual submission of the office address as indicated below, on online electronic submission as indicated below, or both on or before late bids shall not be accepted. All bids must be accompanied by a bid security in any acceptable forms in the amount of stated in ITB, Clause 16.1. Opening shall be at DPWH Building, second floor, back room, Nara, Palawan, and online submission link electronics Bids Palawan, second DPWH Go at bids. Bids will be open in the presence of the bidders representative who choose to attend the activity. As part of eligibility and technical documentary requirements, bidders are required to submit the following: a duly signed omnibus sworn statement or SS in accordance with the form is prescribed and the bidding documents. Latest General Information Set, GIS, reflecting the beneficial ownership information or BOI duly received by the Securities and Exchange Commission or SEC for corporation. As all original notarized special power of attorney or SPA, original notarized secretary certificate documents must be specific to project being bid. The SPA must be submitted by the authorized representative accompanied by any two valid government-issued ID for the representative submission without the original notarized special power of attorney or SPA, original notarized secretary's certificate and proper identification will not be accepted. In adherence of the Department of Policies, please be reminded of the strict implementation of Department Order Number 28 is 2024, 3 strike policy in the procurement of infrastructures, goods, and consulting services contract. And Department Order Number 241 is 2024, guidelines on the processing approval and reporting system, construction safety and program, CSHP, for DPWH infrastructures project. In view of the full implementation on assigning only qualified and competent engineers of the contractors and consultants in the implementation of DPWH projects, please be reminded of material engineers and Department Order Number 169 is 2025. Guidelines of the accreditation of assignment of contractors and consultant project engineers. Portion 2, DEO number 110 is 2024, the ISO 901 and 2015 certification requirements shall be strictly implemented for all large A, medium A, and medium B. Contractor submission of valid certification is mandatory. The event of any discrepancy between the original bid proposal copy 1 and copy 2, the original bid proposal shall be revealed. Interested bidders are required to provide an official email address for all bid-related notices and messages sent to the address will be them duly acknowledged upon transmission. Be advised that we are currently in transitory period. Accordingly, if any provision of RE 12009 is unclear, the provision of RE 9184 shall be revealed. Department of Public Works in Highways, Palawan 2nd District Engineering Office reserves the right to reject any and all bids, declare a failure of bidding, or not award the contract at any time prior to contract award in accordance with Section 70 of RE number 12009, without thereby incurring any liability to affected bidder or bidders. For further information, please refer to Julius M. Kakatsa, DPWH Head Procurement Staff, Head Back Secretariat, DPWH Palawan 2nd, DEO, Nara, Palawan. You may visit the following website for downloading bidding documents: www.buildjibs.gov at page or any www.dpwh.gov at page. Please contact Idirwin M. Gapad, Chief Administrative Section, Chairperson Bids, and our committee. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Engineer Cabanillas, for the clear information and well-defined explanation. May we request the Chief of Quality and Assurance Section, Engineer Manuel Tabinga, to please discuss the documents to be submitted by the bidders.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
opening of bids, ito po ang ating mga legal documents na dapat kong submit para sa preliminary examination ng technical content ng ating bid. Ito po ang mga legal documents, the Belgian Certificate of Registration, Platinum Membership in accordance with Section 20 of RA 12009. All pages. Kalit kita 3 pages po ito lahat. Registration certificate from Securities and Exchange Commission, Department of Trade and Industry, DTI, Solis Proprietorship or Cooperative Development Authority, CDE, or cooperative, or its equivalent document. Kailangan din po natin isubmit ang ating mayor's or business permit issued by the city or the municipality na kung saan po ang ating business ay nandun po. Doon po tayo sa lugar na ito. And equivalent document with economic zones or areas. Kailangan din natin mag-submit ng tax clearance per EO number 398, series of 2005, or reviewed and approved by the BIR. Sa ating mga technical documents, ito po, statement of the prospective bidder of ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started. And any, whether similar or not similar nature, conflicts to the contract to be bid. Kailan din po natin submit ang statement of bidders, is LCC, in accordance with ITB Clause 5.5. And the Philippine Contractor Accreditation Board, pickup license, or special pickup license in case of joint venture. Kailangan bid security in prescribed form and amount accordance with ITB Clause 16 and validity period under ITB Clause 15. Project requirements, which includes the following. Ito po ang ating organizational chart ng ating company. Ang list of contractor personnel, project manager, project engineers, material engineers, foreman. Kailangan po siguraduhin natin dito na hindi po expire kanilang mga accreditation license. List of contractor major equipment units which are on lease or under purchase agreement. Kailangan supported po ng proof of ownership or certification of ability of equipment from the equipment lessor or vendor for the duration of the project. As the case may be, which must meet the minimum requirements for the contract sheet in DDA. Omnibus form of statement in accordance with Section 54.3 of RA 12 and its applicable originally notarized secretary certificate in case of corporation, partnership or cooperative, or special power of attorney in all members of joint venture. Giving full power of authority to it to sign the OSDs and to act as represent the bidders. Sa financial documents, the prospective bidders, kailangan submit din natin ang ating audited financial statements showing among others the prospective bidders, the total and current assets and liabilities stamped BIR or its duly accredited and authorized institution for the preceding calendar year, which should be not earlier than 2 years from the date of bid submission. The MHCC petition in accordance with ITB Clause 5.6. Para po sa speed documents, if applicable, duly signed venture, hindi na siguro. Other documentary requirements, the latest General Information Sheet, GIS, reflecting the beneficial ownership information, verified and stamped received by Securities and Exchange Commission. Kung meron po tayo, ISO 9001 template certification para sa large E, medium B, and medium E. As per DEO 110 series of 2024. And affidavit of disclosure of no relationship. Para naman po sa ating submission, which para sa financial ating proposed financial. Ito po, kailangan or original o duly signed accomplished financial bid form. Number 2, originally duly signed bid price in the bid quantities. Number 3, duly accomplished detailed estimate form, including a summary sheet indicating the unit prices and construction materials, labor rates, and equipment rental use in coming up with the bid. And the last is the cash flow by quarter. And that's all, Mr. Chair, Vice Chairman.
Thank you. Dear Tabinga, well spoken, well done. Under Republic Act number 12009, New Government Procurement Act, the procurement process for civil work follows distinct stages: eligibility check, preliminary examination, bids, post-qualification, and award. Utilizing criteria like the lowest calculated response bid, LCRB. Eligibility check. For the legal and financial capacity, checks valid licenses such as pickup license for contractors, tax clearances and registration. For the net financial contracting capacity, NFCC, must match or exceed the approved budget for the contract ABC. Track record, evaluation of the single largest completed contract SLCC, similar to the contract we bid. Disclosure, mandatory submission of sworn disclosure of relations and beneficial ownership. For the preliminary examination of bids, completeness check. The bids and awards committee back checks if technical and financial components are complete. For the bid security, bid verification of presence, form and amount, validity of the required bid security. Pass-fail criteria. Bids are categorized strictly as pass or fail based on the presence of required document components. For the post-qualification, validation, verification of legal, technical, and financial requirements of the lowest calculated bid, LCB. For the physical inspection, inspecting pledged equipment, verifying performance on past projects, and checking the authenticity of licenses. Failure loop. If the top bidder fails post-qualification, the BAC notifies them and proceeds to test the next ranked bidder. For the award of contract recommendation, the BAC recommends award to the bidder with the responsive and lowest calculated bid. For the notice of award, head procurement approves and issues the NOA. Mr. R.A.C. Martinez, do we have supplemental bid bulletins issued?
Yes, sir.
Okay, noted. For the summary proceedings, the BAC chairman will convene the Bids and Awards Committee members to conduct the bid opening of the following activities. The first activity is the preliminary examination of the technical component, followed by the preliminary examination of financial component, and the next activity is the reading of electronic eligibility results generated from civil works application, followed by the preliminary examination of financial component, and finally the announcement of the results by reading the abstract of bids. Mr. Erlasi, do we have questions or comments from the bidders online?
Answer.
Okay, noted. This ends our pre-bid conference. The BAC meeting is now adjourned.